Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh, and hello everyone. My name is Abdul Karim Alias from University of Science Malaysia. This is the second part of a video series on the topic of engaging learners for an effective online session. Before I go further, let me share with you these two books, and I would highly recommend you to get these books as your main reference if you really want to be a very successful online educators. So the first book here is all about understanding the adult learner, the fundamental principles behind effective adult learning programs. So I think these books would really help the educators, especially for those who doesn't have or who doesn't come from education background. So this actually a very comprehensive book that outline the fundamental principle that we need to understand. Or alternatively, you can get this book, and this is my all-time favorite book. I have the hard copy as well as a soft copy and the signed copy from the author, signed by Suzanne here. And this book is How Learning Works: 7 Research-Based Principles for Smart Teaching. And this book is written really for non-educationists to have a quick understanding of the 7 principles, which is research-based principles that we can use, and we can design our course, whether it's for face-to-face or even for online. We use the same principles. And I think this is really very, very critical for all educators to really understand and design their course using the research-based principles. So these two books, I would recommend for everyone. Then, what's in this book? So the 7 research-based principles. The first one is, how does students' prior knowledge affect their learning? The second principle, how does the way students organize knowledge affect their learning? The third principle, what factors motivate students to learn? Number 4, how do students develop mastery? Number 5, what kinds of practice and feedback enhance learning? And number 6, why do student development and course climate matter for student learning? The principle number 4 here, how do students, number 3, what factors motivate students to learn? Is about motivation. And this is very, very important when we talk about engaging students in our online course, especially. The element of motivation is one of the critical factors that we need to pay attention to and incorporate strategies in order to get the students to be highly motivated and constantly motivated throughout the session and throughout the course. So these are the 7 research-based principles. And let me start with some guiding principles. The first one here, if you really want to be qualified or competent as an online educator, first we have to be a learner in online courses. So how many of you have taken at least one online course as a learner, as a student? So how many of you have completed one online course? Or how many of you have taken at least 5 online courses and maybe completed at least 5 online courses? If you haven't done that, then I would advise, and I would highly recommend that take any online course on platform like Coursera, edX, and other online platform out there, courses that are free available, and follow the course as a student, experience what the online course is like. And if you take more than one courses, you will see how the different online courses are being designed, how they engage the students, how they structure, how they organize the course, what kind of assessment they do, what kind of learning activities they have, what kind of interactivity that they have. So only when you experience as a student, then you can appreciate how it feels like to be a student in good online course, in online course that is poorly designed. And now you can use this experience now when you design your own online course. Of course, you only want to take the best positive elements from those courses that you have experienced and then adopt and adapt those in your own course. So first, be a learner in online course. So I would like to share this post from my friend here, Muhammad Nazirin Wahab. He's actually a professional online facilitator. So this post is very, very relevant when we talk about be a learner first. So he said, how do I become a better virtual teacher? How I run my virtual classes. So the best way to learn is to attend a lot of online classes, sign up for a lot of MOOCs, massive open online courses, and just experience various delivery styles as a participant. Sometimes as facilitators, teachers, lecturers, trainers, and coaches, we are blind to the learning experience because we are not on the receiving end. So we must first put ourselves on the receiving end as a student, okay? And only that we can appreciate the experience. And then now when we design our own, we can bring those positive experience only to our course. So a good leader is also a good follower. Likewise, a good teacher is also a good student. Fortunately, there are many free courses, webinars, and classes being offered now. This is a fantastic opportunity to learn from the best and how they conduct their engagements online. Pick up best practices and learn new tools to incorporate into your repertoire. Soon enough, you will create a solid teacher brand for yourself that will attract people to learn from you. See you online. So, these are the things that I want to say before we go further, before look at how we can design the best learning experience for your online session, for your online course. First, experience yourself. You experience first as a student. Okay. Now, let me start very briefly for this module. Let's go first on the design aspect. Okay, how do we plan and design our course for our online course? And generally, these are the general approach. When we design any course, whether it's face-to-face or online, there are 4 phases of course creation and development. And this is actually based on the established model. For example, here I want to share with you, this is one of the most common instructional model called EDI model. It's an acronym. So a full cycle of online course development typically involves the following phases: planning, design, deliver, and evaluate, as you can see in the diagram here. So this module focuses specifically on the delivery part, which concern more on the students' engagement, learning experience, and performance in the online course. This course will provide strategies for online practitioners who are looking for new ideas to enhance their online instruction and facilitation, providing a new framework to consider when designing and implementing online interaction, including online courses. So you see this diagram here. We have the first one. The first phase is design, which basically start with identify the structure of the course, objective of the course or the learning outcome, assessment and activities. And the second one is develop, where we start to create, assemble material and content and test course content. Number 3 here is deliver, to present the course, facilitate activities and assess learning. And number 4 here is to evaluate, where we at this phase we want to solicit feedback and then use the feedback and act on the feedback, review the results, and identify areas for improvement. Okay, so these are the 4 phases of course creation and development. And in the area of instructional design, where the principle that we can follow and use when we design any course. So EDI instructional model here is one of the most popular model. Of course, there are several models out there. So in the field of e-learning, there are several models or methodologies for instructional design, but undoubtedly the EDI model is the most popular. So This learning model will allow you to analyze all information through the observation of the response, the learning process, and the behavior of the students. So AD stands for A, analysis, D, design, another D is development, I is implementation, and E is evaluation. So this is a graphic infographic here from this Obsidian Learning here. You can look at detail of this infographic. You can click the link here. Okay. So if you look at this infographic, the bigger version of this from this website, elearninginfographics.com. So you can see the more detail about AD model, a 5-phase approach to building effective learning solution: analyze, design, develop, implement, and evaluate. Okay, so I would recommend you to go through details of this AD model, and if you want to learn more about AD model, you can find on this website here. But here, there's another resource which is very useful for you if you want to go and study more detail about AD model. There's a step-by-step walkthrough here. So if you click this link on this module, by the way, you can find the link of the module in the description below the video. Okay, you can have access to my module here. So when you click the link here, step-by-step walkthrough of AD model, it will bring you to this website. This website is not mine, but by Segi here. So you can find the step-by-step of how you can design your course using the AD model, the step-by-step here. So just follow the step-by-step here to really go deeper, dive deeper into AD model when you are designing your course, so that you can use a proper instructional design principles to design your course. Okay, so that's the AD model for course design. Okay, and the next thing that I want to talk very briefly is about structuring. How do you structure your online session? I'm talking about especially about your live, when you do live or synchronous session for your when you do online, when you go online live with your students. Okay, so I will talk about this in the next video.